Ladies and Trisky here, bringing some more Battlefield 3 content, and today, you could probably already see by the title, I felt obligated to bring this to you. I don't even know how else to describe it. We got spanked. If you guys know, if you guys see, this was a competitive game we played, and if you guys saw my last competitive game play, this is the same team that we played. However, this time we're playing Conquest, and I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm gonna make a few though, but a lot of the team that we were playing with, you know, we try and put together people that we can put together people in our PTFO platoon. It's not always the same people. Some of us hadn't played together before. A lot of our players were rush players over conquest players. I'm not saying me included. I like both, but a lot of the players were rush. I like conquest though, but this team spanked us. Every single map, they just destroyed us, and we weren't probably set up, we weren't communicating, we were definitely not as organized as they were. And I will admit, if any of the other team sees this, the first few matches we were, I personally was dealing with getting randoms in and out of the game, because if you guys don't know, just try and set up a private match on a console. You basically got to get everybody together and everybody to jump into a server as fast as you can, and hope everybody can join off each other and hope that no randoms get in. But, you know, in our case, there was a couple randoms that did get in the first couple matches, and I had to send them messages, and people weren't backing out. Apparently, a couple of them were using frag rounds, which we all agreed upon not using. But, you know, regardless, I still had a good time. A lot of the people that we were playing with, you know, it's frustrating when you lose, and we must have lost, I'm not exaggerating, at least 10 matches in a row. And these guys were good. I mean, you see, look at this guy's dog at 2,000 jet kills. You know what I mean? Like, it's tough to go against that, but it was fun. These guys are a blast to play against, and they're legit players. They're not going to do, you know, stupid tactics. They're good Battlefield players, and it's just fun to take them on. So, tactics-wise, why did I bring this video? Because, you know, when you start recording gameplay and you start watching the gameplay back, it changes the way, not necessarily you play, but it lets you see different things. So when you play a competitive game and you get in here and you're able to watch everything back again, you see kind of how the game breaks down here more, and you see why I took out a shotgun pushing on Bravo. You know, I don't get everybody, but I get a couple people, and we end up taking Bravo back. And this right here, I think once we get Bravo back, we take the lead maybe for 5 to 10 seconds, and I'm probably going to say that was the only lead we had all night in any game. This game's not close by any stretch of the means. It turns into a wash towards the end. We do make a little bit of a 3 cap, I think it was at the end, but they started killing so many of us that we didn't have a chance. But the shotgun I was using was the M1014 with flechette rounds. Gotta love the flechette, gotta give respect, not using frag rounds. And we had not disallowed claymores, which, you know, they weren't using that many claymores, but I felt in this map it's clutch to you gotta block this staircase based on this spawn. There's two, if you guys don't know this map well, first of all, you need to know your map and have good map knowledge to be a successful conquest player. You need to be able to block off the 2 side flanking routes here, and that's what you can essentially do without claymores. You're gonna get an early warning system of other people that are trying to flank you, especially in competitive matches. You know, some people frown upon them. Some people are like, oh, claymores, they're the stupidest thing in the game, but you know, I use them. You'll see me use them in quite a few situations here where they make a difference and they help out and they do what they're supposed to do. Like, yeah, it's nice. It's weird, you know, when you get a random claymore kill, but you know, you did put it there expecting somebody to run through there in a pretty decent point of time. But you know, regardless, this gameplay you should really be watching about where the mistakes were made, and not just as myself as a player, because you know, one player can only make so much of a difference on the battlefield, but the team, like, it was tough to point out at the time what our team was doing wrong and what the other team was doing differently. They were obviously set up a little bit better communicating wise. They had their squad set up. I believe we were in a squad of 8, a party of 8 and a party of 4. That just occurred because of how people got invited to the party and joining people. We were losing people and having people join in. But, you know, everybody was a respectably good player. A couple people, you know, when you play competitively, and this is a big issue, you know, we tried pointing it out beforehand, and I hope nobody took offense to this, especially people we were playing with, but the thing is, like, knowing your role on the battlefield, and, you know, I don't know, this is tough to say, like, you got to know who's going to be able to get in a jet. And when you're playing competitively, you know, when you're on the battlefield and you're playing by yourself, a couple of friends, get in anything you want, experiment. If you don't know how to do something, try and learn. You know, but when you're playing in a somewhat competitive environment, and you know that everybody's counting on everything, every little detail matters. Who gets in a vehicle and who gets in a jet or whatever, and how successful they are at that, because you're got to be expecting that if you get in a jet versus these guys, you're facing their top jet pilot as well. And so it becomes very important. You see, we had a little mishap in the very start. I'm not calling out anybody, it was just we were unorganized. And I think the big thing that breeds success in this is organization. And it really comes down to playing with a consistent group of players and playing, everybody kind of having a role, everybody knowing each other's role and being comfortable around people. So, I'm going to call this out right now. We are planning or trying to eventually get together a PTFO, like competitive scrim team of people that, regularly want to play with us. And, if you guys are interested in that, maybe send me a message. It's going to be on invite only basis for right now. Obviously join the PTFO platoon would be the best chance of playing with us so that you get used to playing with us and we can get used to playing with you, and maybe we'll want you to play some competitive matches with us. But that is going to be in the works right now. Me and a few people are talking about sending out invites to people for stuff like that. But if you guys are interested in playing competitively, leave a comment down below, get in touch with us on Battlelog or Twitter, and we'll try and get that set up, at least playing in some of these scrim games just for fun, or playing against other people in the PTFL platoon, because eventually that's what we have in mind, is having 2 squads set up to play against each other. We like playing against random, not random because we've played these guys before, but. And you see here, I jump back in this LAV because we realized it's back at the base, and I'm trying to snipe the LAV while getting some cover, and it just didn't work because the other LAV, I'm not the greatest LAV driver, but we didn't have designated roles as to who's going to be driving the LAV for what map, who's going to be getting in the jets, who's going to be getting in the choppers. And that's something that becomes very important in competitive Battlefield. And it's not only that, we were watching sometimes how this team was working. And in certain instances, for this example, they seem to wait until you made that tank push, and then everybody pushed up together. And they had it's all set. And like you see here, the game was somewhat close, but it turned into, I spawned here in the middle, and we didn't get anything done. And then they have us 3 capped, and all of a sudden it's 150 to 50 or something like that, and you just lose all your tickets so fast in that 3 cap. And if you can get a team into a an all cap competitively, it's tough. And so finally, we all have to spawn back at the spawn. LAV was recently destroyed. I'm not sure if anybody pushed up a Humvee, and we gotta if you know the map, you need to know about this right side flank if you spawn over here, and also if you're on the other team, you need to know about this flank because you got to be able to block people. But you can run the right side hallway pretty much all the way there, and that's what you do, and we end up capping around. But I mean, you can just sit here and watch the ticket count go down and down and down while we're in this 3 cap, and we try and get back on Bravo and all this stuff. But I honestly, I want you guys to leave in the comments below what maybe we could have done differently. Personally, obviously organization is a big thing. I didn't see too many people playing recon. I think at least 1 or 2 recons would have helped, getting recon beacons, in weird corners towards the other side of the map. That always helps. This team was very, very aware of what was going on, so it would obviously make that tough. The other big thing is motion sensors. Having motion sensors maybe in a spot instead of claymores, that probably could have been pretty successful. Obviously, the claymore actually stops the person and kills them, but had I maybe switched to a recon kit and a PDW, maybe the outcome would have been a little bit differently. It's tough to tell, and that's one of the roles that I do like to take on with a recon kit, is that the really aggressive role of a using that PDW or using that shotgun, getting up in the enemy spawn, getting a maybe sneaky spawn beacon down somewhere. That's where a silenced PDW is going to become very effective. But this guy in the other, I remember this guy from last time. He's a good tank driver. I remember him getting in the LAVs and stuff, and they dominated us. And they said, I talked to this guy, and they said, they switched up their tactics from last time and switched up their parties and squads a little bit from how they did it the last time that we played them, when we played them Rush. And they said they're interested in playing Rush because that's what they don't play more. But I see, my feeling is I want to play Conquest more because we sucked at it. It was really bad, and I want to get, there's really intricate, it's not intricate strategies, but you really kind of have to get a feel for what's going on. And linear maps like this aren't the greatest example, but man, I remember on Karg Island, they used a very interesting strategy on Karg Island, in that I don't know if they felt that we had them outgunned in the air, or they felt that they control us better on the ground. But there was a point in the game They had us, we pushed slow out of our spawn because we were unorganized. They had us 3-capped, broke, you know, we spawned on the carrier side, and they eventually got to the point where they didn't spawn in their air vehicles anymore and were pushed up completely on the ground and just dominated us with a 4-cap on the ground with a couple tanks, a Humvee, and we just could not get past them. I mean, they may have had a chopper, I don't believe so, but it really was interesting how many people were on the ground, and they were hiding so well, and the choppers were like, our choppers and jets were just unable to handle that mass of people, and then our people couldn't push up because we were just held back so well with their tanks. It was interesting to see that tactic of it was weird. They had some very good tactics, but you see here, like, obviously, you know, we're trying to get that Charlie cap flag, and you know, they had that 3-cap in for long enough. We're trying to work back on that 2-cap, but the score is just so out of power now that, you know, unless we had a 3-cap, we have no chance of winning this game, and so we're going to be running around trying to catch up. And so I really think the most important part of the game is the starting move, not the starting move, but the breakout of the spawn. Being organized and knowing where everybody's going and what everybody's responsibilities and roles are is very important. A quick note, gameplay wise, if you guys are still watching, you got to know when you're playing Conquest on this map to watch those back spawns. Because if they have Bravo, they're going to spawn in those back rooms until you neutralize the flag. They can spawn there until you neutralize the flag, I believe is how it works. So until you see the flag go white and you start capping it for your color, watch where they're going to be or supposed to be spawning. And you see here, I knew that they had more people there, and they're going to overrun us because they kept spawning there. They wanted to hold Bravo. So I'm just trying to hold defense. I'm trying to pull back, let people spawn on me, putting claymores up, and they just rush right in there. And we end up losing Bravo, and there's really just no chance. You know, the claymore gets somebody, I get one guy, and just nothing. You know, it's one of those games that you do what you can do, and they just played so well. I got to give mad props to these guys. They were very well organized. They worked well. They weren't too aggressive, and I think that was another big thing, is that they didn't go for crazy flanks. They seemed to push up together, running, you know, a balanced squad. And here it's just being aware that the LAV's up. I seem to be the only person on my team noticing it. So it's like, let's get on that, and I'm just gonna try and get on Alpha because they had an LAV there, and it's like, you know, you really gotta have more people aware. I don't know what happened there. Just people were just too into the game that they didn't notice LAV up, and that's the thing, is you gotta have somebody designated as everything. You know, I'm gonna go for the tank. I'm gonna go for the LAV. I'm getting the jet. I'm gonna stand. When you're in charge of that, it's like you almost have to be solely recharge of that. You're not gonna let that jet just go down. And I'm gonna just say on a side note here, we ran into a clan after this match, after these games, and we started playing some Rush. Just, you know, we were planning on getting, you know, we had a couple people still in the party. I think we had still like 7 or 8 people we were playing with, and we jump in a lobby. You know, we jump in a lesser lobby because we want to get everybody in. We were planning on playing each other, just kind of what happens until people back out. And we ran into this lobby of these guys. I'm not even going to mention their clan tag. You might see a couple clips of them in future videos. But they were I'm speechless. I'm giving commentary and I'm speechless for how to describe these people, because they were so. The first thing that I said, you know, there was maybe 6 or 7 of us on there, and we all ended up on one team. We switched teams, you know. We didn't realize not everybody was running the same clan tag, but there was at least 10 to 11 people with them. They're like, just back out. That's the message I get from one of the lower ranks of all these people who are in the same clan. Just back out. Like, why? That was my response. Cause we're cause we're king. That was the response. Their clan tag was king. I'm like, are you serious, bro? Okay, ha ha ha. You know, lol. We played them, and they beat us. I'm not gonna lie, they beat us in quite a few games because for a couple reasons. One, we were outnumbered every single game at least by 2 people. And if you guys know Rush and people communicating, it's tough to be outnumbered in Rush. You know, we did our best and we gave them a couple good matches. We did win like 1 or 2 matches. The other douchebag thing they were doing, stealing our jets the entire time. Every single game that there was a jet in Rush, they stole our jet. And I will bring a clip about this. Is a gripe I have against DICE about the ability to steal vehicles from enemy spawns. I believe that there should be some way that the vehicle is not activated until the team that has it gets in it. Otherwise, the other enemy team can't get. I think this is the most ridiculous thing ever. It's almost a game-running mechanic. This is coming down to the end. If you guys enjoy this, let me know. If you guys want to play with us, let me know. And I will be bringing some more content soon. Hopefully, we'll be getting another competitive game going soon. I hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know in the comments below. Till next time, ladies. You know how we do. Just watch the scoreboard go down. I almost just want to hide my face in shame. It's so miserable. Console me with my tears. Yes, we lost. I didn't play amazing, but it happens. I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. Break it down yourself. You know how we do, ladies. Till next time, keep it real.